Welcome to the tip 1 of the things to check before buying a second-hand laptop. After checking the body of the laptop, whether there is a break or a crack somewhere, after checking all these, the neatness of the machine, you then head on onto the machine itself. Then you hold the Windows plus R. You'll be welcome with this dialog box, and here you enter MS Info 32. After that, you click on OK. You'll be presented with this particular interface, and this is where you're going to check the information or the details about the machine. So here you can check the operating system's name, you check the name of the system and other stuff. This is where I want us to attach some importance to. You check the processor. You can see that this machine is Intel Core i5. Now, after knowing this, whether it's an i5 machine or i3 machine, that is not all. The first number after the dash, that is between the 5 and the 6, as you can see here, the first number determines the generation of the machine. So you can see that this machine is i5 Civ generation. Please, I will never advise you to buy a machine that is less than Civ generation, though it depends on what you want to do with the machine. But looking at where things are going now, for me, my advice is make sure your machine is at least Civ generation or above. After that, you check the last letter at the end of the processor. So you can see that this letter here is U. So if your machine is going to be used for office works and some basic stuff, then I will recommend this U type of processor for you. But if the machine is not going to be used for office work and you're going to use it for a program or stuff that require high power, high graphics, then this U type of processor is not for you. I will recommend you look for the H or the HQ type. But if the machine is going to be used for something that requires a lot of battery, maybe where you will be using it for travels and there won't be electricity to charge them when it is off, then I'll recommend you to buy the M type of processor. So the M type of processor have somehow stronger battery, and H and the HQ type of processor are recommended for people who are going to use the machine to run higher stuffs. Like if you are a video editor, you are a graphic designer, you are a gamer, I will never recommend the U type of processor. So after checking the body of the laptop, the neatness of the laptop, make sure you check the processor too, whether i3, i5, i7. For me, even my focus is not on the i3 because there can be an i7 machine which is 4th gen, but the i5 machine which is the 11th gen will perform better than the i7 machine which is 4th gen. So make sure you take careful notes on the generation of the computer. So after checking the type and the generation of the processor, you now come and check the speed of the processor. So you can see that this machine is having 2.30 gigahertz. That's the speed of the processor. The higher the gigahertz, the better the speed the processor can provide. You check that one too. After that one too, you come to check the RAM of the machine. So you can see this machine is using 8 gigabyte RAM. Yes, if you are going to use the machine for basic stuff, then I think you look for 8 gigabyte RAM. But if you're going to use it for higher stuff like gaming, video editing, graphic designing, and stuff that requires a lot of speed, then I will recommend you to look for machine that is, let me say, 16 gigabytes or more. Or sometimes you need to check whether the machine or the RAM slot is expandable, whether you can expand the RAM slot or not. If it is an expandable RAM slot, you can get the 8 gig, then you buy additional 8 gig to it. I won't say having a higher RAM guarantees you a better speed, but this is what I will tell you. If your RAM is higher, it helps you to perform what we call the multitasking. You can do several things at the same time. So you can watch movie, you can also do other stuffs at the same time. But if the RAM is somehow low, you can't perform this multitasking. So if you think your machine is going to be used for multitasking, then I'll recommend you to choose a higher RAM. How will you check whether the RAM is expandable or not? So you right click on the task bar, then you click on the task manager. You'll be welcome with this interface. Here, you click on performance, then you click on memory. You can see that if you come to the side of the RAM, I'm having slots used 2 of 2, meaning the machine contains 2 RAM slots. So you can expand it if you want to add additional RAM slot, but make sure the one you are buying is 1 of 2, meaning only the first RAM slot is occupied. There is another RAM slot that you can buy additional RAM and insert it. But if it is 1 of 1, meaning you can't expand the RAM in the machine, you can only use 1 RAM at a time. So assuming the machine is having 8 gig RAM, but the RAM slot is 1 of 2, meaning you can buy additional 8 gig and it will now be 16 gig before the RAM slot will be full. So make sure you check whether the RAM slot of the machine is also expandable. Yes, so after checking the neatness of the machine, make sure you check the processor of the machine. Is it i3, i5, i7 or i9? And make sure you check the generation. That's the first number you meet after the i5. So if it is 6, meaning the machine is a 6th generation machine. If it is 7, the machine is a 7th generation machine. As I said, I want to recommend a machine that is less than 6th generation for you at this time. So make sure you consider that one. So make sure you check the type of the processor. If the processor is a U processor, it is used for basic stuff. If it is H or HQ, that is where you use it for stuff that require high performance. But if it is M, meaning it is a mobile processor and that processor have somehow stronger battery. If it is G, then that processor is better when performing stuff concerning graphics. So make sure you check all this. Then you check your RAM size. If the RAM size is 8, it's good for basic stuff. But if you use it for multitasking, then I think it's good you purchase a machine with a higher RAM size or a machine that its RAM can be expanded. There is a multiple RAM slot. So here you have 1 RAM, then you can buy additional RAM to expand what is already there. So if it is 8 gig, you buy additional 8 gig to fill the second slot, then you have 16 gig. Here you can perform better multitasking with the machine. If this sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to like, share, and follow so that you and I can improve our tech knowledge together. My name is Kwesi Highest.